Okay, we are going to call this regular meeting of the Martin County School Board to order, and I would like to invite Pastor Rick Evans to lead our opening prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
You are, according to your word, a God who sees us and hears us and chooses to love us sometimes in spite of us. We thank you, Father, that we get to meet like this and make decisions that affect lives. Your word tells us in the book of James that if we need wisdom, simply ask you for that wisdom and you'll give it to us without finding fault in us. So we ask you now for wisdom for this meeting, that the words exchanged, the ideas exchanged, and the decisions made would be wise and beneficial to everyone involved, that our children and students would be blessed in Martin County because of what's said here today and decided here today, that our teachers and parents would be blessed and happy because of decisions made here today. Thank you so much for the opportunity we have to meet and to be free and to make decisions that affect the culture. We pray these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you very much.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Falls, would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Russell?
Here.
Mrs. Roberts?
Here.
Mrs. Pritchett?
Here.
Dr. Moriarty?
Here.
Mrs. Powers?
Here. Thank you. Okay, and now I will take a motion to approve the agenda with the following items added. 3.08 is the renewal. 3.09, addendum to the Boys and Girls Collaborative Agreement, Boys and Girls Club. 7.02, addendum to personnel recommendations. Items updated is 11.01, field trip requests. 18.02, requisitions over $100,000. And the following items move to action only: 3.03, 3.04, and 3.09.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett, a second by Dr. Moriarty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay. Moving right along, is there any board member discussion on any items at this point? Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize.
That's okay.
Because I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda with the following items moved to action: 3.03, 3.04, and 3.09.
I will second that, but I will ask that 3.09 be pulled for discussion to have Dan Moore explain a little more about the,
Yes, I also moved that one.
Oh, okay,
So we're,
okay.
yes.
Thank you.
We'll move,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts moved approval. Ms. Pritchett seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, now we have our board member discussion. Is there any items that the board would like to discuss this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll move right along to our 2026 Martin County School District Sunshine State Scholar Recognitions. Dr. McMahon.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Main. My name is Paige McMahon, and I serve as the coordinator of curriculum and instruction for our district. This evening, I'm honored to recognize our district's Sunshine State Scholar and alternate winners. The Sunshine State Scholars Program is a statewide initiative that celebrates Florida's highest achieving high school juniors who demonstrate exceptional academic performance, a strong commitment to STEM learning, and a clear vision for their future contributions to society. Students selected for this honor represent the very best of our district and go on to participate in a prestigious state-level program focused on innovation, leadership, and service. It is truly a privilege to highlight two of our students whose achievements, dedication, and passion exemplify the purpose of this program. It is my honor to recognize Aria Call of South Fork High School as the Martin County School District Sunshine State Scholar, and we are also pleased to recognize Nina Goyal of Martin County High School as our Sunshine State Scholar alternate. Congratulations to these two exceptional students. And Aria and Nina, if you'd like to come up and receive your award, and we'll have a picture with the board, please. Congratulations. Thank you. You want to stand up there?
Sorry? Okay. We're going to take the district presentations out of order. We're going to hear from item 14.02, the impact of school social services workers. Deb Riley.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Superintendent Main, board members, Director of Student Services, Deborah Riley. Thank you for going out of order. We do have in the back, they're hiding a little bit, in our sea of green and blue, our Martin County School District School Social Service Workers, and we truly appreciate being able to highlight the job that they do every single day for our schools, our students, and our families. They do have other items, including I know some home visits to deliver things this evening. So again, thank you for going out of order for us. So we wanted to just, oh, sorry, I got to switch. We wanted to quickly highlight their impact. I'm going to let Mr. Hall fix me. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Do I need to do anything for full screen? Okay, that's fine. Thank you. You're welcome. So let's see if we can scroll this way. So just some highlights for our social workers. They are trained mental health professionals who do address our barriers to learning. They focus on attendance, behavior, health, and our mental health for our students. We do have 12 total, affectionately known with our acronym. Sorry, Mr. Kaus. Oh, thank you. Our acronym of SSSW. In the community, they're also known as our Crisis Response Team. But we do have 12 total. All of our traditional secondary schools, and we're moving again. Thank you. Thanks, Max. All of our traditional secondary schools do have a full-time SSSW assigned to them. Our elementary schools and our alternative education schools have an SSSW assigned 1 day a week. Our charter schools, both Clark, Indiantown High School, Hope Center, are also supported as needed. And then just for informational purposes, all of our charter schools through DOE do have the option to, they call it opt out of being part of our mental health assistance allocation plan, and they can create their own. So TCCA does have their own mental health assistance allocation plan, but our funding is included for them. So just some information with that. Some of the roles that our SSSWs perform are individual and group counseling, crisis intervention, anger management, conflict resolution. They also help our students with appropriate social skills, coping with stress, and addressing certain issues. I do have a quote that was shared with me by one of our students on what was the impact of participating in small groups. And the student said, "In so many ways, it's taught me to change my perspectives on life and take moments to grow." And I thought that was really impactful for just how one small group meeting with our SSSWs has impacted just one of our students. Our family services, they do provide services to our parents. They go out and do home visits on a regular basis with our families, because sometimes it's hard for our parents to come into school to meet with them, especially depending on their job schedule. So our SSSWs, while yes, they're on contract hours, home visits do occur for them in the evenings. They're out at 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night. They're also delivering items on their home visits. If our parents can't get forms signed and sent back to us, they go to them, not just necessarily during the school days or in school time, but also in the evenings. So our school and district service supports, they collaborate very closely with our teachers, our administrators. They are our first responders in the event should a crisis occur on campus or a community crisis occur that would impact our students and family. They are our critical members of the district crisis response team. And they also coordinate with our school counselors and community members as well. Community liaisons is a big part of their job also. They communicate and coordinate with a lot of our community resources to meet our student needs, advocating for new and improved services. They attend community-wide meetings with many of our community resources, both from what we affectionately are called Circuit 19, which is Indian River County, Okeechobee County, St. Lucie County, and Martin County, and they participate in those meetings as well, so that we're ensuring that we're getting as much support for our kids as we can. This week particular, our social workers have paired up so that they can go out and support the United Way holiday gift drive. So they'll be out with our local United Way chapters, helping to hand out gifts to our kiddos at United Way. Just for your own information, these were our mental health outcomes and the number of services provided. I'm not going to read through those for you, but you can browse those. And then really, what is our direct impact of our students and families? If you saw during Thanksgiving what our students did with Elevate Hope, with collecting all of the baskets, but in the background, helping to coordinate distribution of all of those baskets, was our school social service workers. The plan originally, which a lot of people don't realize, was that they were taking their own vehicles and loading up all the baskets to start delivering to schools and to homes as well if families could not come to the schools. Miss Rena at Elevate Hope is amazing. She got all these huge trucks that we helped load up the baskets, and they delivered. And then any from the schools that the parents couldn't come, our social workers helped to deliver well into that evening, going to deliver from their personal vehicles on their own to deliver those baskets to ensure our families had those. So I just wanted to share that with you. This was directly from our district post. We did impact over 20,000 people in our community because of the Thanksgiving basket drive. Again, that was student-led, but our SSSWs were supporting in the background. Labor statistics that even I didn't realize until I started researching more and finding out more is overall employment of the social workers is projected to grow 6% from 2024 to 2034. It's the faster than average for all occupations. So I just found that to be an interesting statistics for us. And then just again, a note of thanks For our school social workers, they are the bridge between our students, our families, and our community. Their unwavering dedication ensures that every child has the support needed to overcome barriers and thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Anytime there is a need, a barrier, they don't say, what's the barrier? They say, how do we fix it? How do we help? That's always their first response. So I'm very honored and proud to help lead our group and just give them another note of thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do we want to get a picture with everyone to come up and? No. Yes. Back here. I think it's better closer. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, now, up next we have our world-renowned SPAM FRC Team 180 presentation. Woo!
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board, Superintendent Main, everybody in attendance, everybody watching online. My name is Mark Cowles, serve as the coordinator of executive initiatives for this A-rated school district. It's my honor to introduce members of SPAM soon, but as Ms. Riley pointed out, I can't stand acronyms, so I do have to say, does anybody know, besides you over here, what SPAM stands for? Anybody? Okay, let's see what you got. Yeah, the word "and." That's like the easy one. Yeah, speed, power, and maneuverability. So good job. 75%. Nice job. If you've never had a chance to go in that room and see what they're doing, I can't pretend to know what they're doing in there. It's amazing. I know that they incorporate a lot of science, technology, I think engineering as well, if I got that right. And they get their robots to do all these magical things, but I do know that they are elite at it because there are championship banners hanging all over that room in there. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce the SPAM team.
Good deal.
You did something. I got you. All right, you're up.
Good afternoon, distinguished board, Superintendent Michael Main. My name is Zach Dean. I'm the president of SPAM Robotics. I'm a senior at Southwark High School, and today we'll be presenting about what we did over the off season and how we're preparing for the new season.
Good evening. My name is Leonard Marafino. I'm the technical lead and one of the computer-aided design teachers of our team, and I'm a senior at Southwark High School.
Good evening. My name is Cora Acevedo, and I am a high school senior at Martin County High School.
Good afternoon. I'm Aria, and I'm a current junior at South Fork High School. So we're here to give you a review of our 2025 season and a look forward at what we're going to be doing with our upcoming season. So last season, we built a 115-pound robot that we took to 2 regional events as well as our World Championship event, and we became a part of one of the 8 alliances of the top robots in the entire world at the World Championship. So we competed at 2 regionals as well as the World Championship. We competed at the Orlando Regional, where we won the first Impact Award, which will be discussed later, but we essentially won it for our impact on our community and our community outreach. And Cora and I were actually able to work on that throughout the season. And we were also the regional winners for the entire competition. And then at the South Florida Regional, we had a Dean's List finalist, which was Zach. And we were also the regional winners for that competition as well, and we won the Autonomous Award. We also made it to the World Championship thanks to our previous wins and our Impact Award, where we made it to the finalists, where we were part of the Galileo division, and we were the championship winner for that division, and we also won the Autonomous Award at the World Championship as well.
So the Impact Award is one of the most prestigious awards that you can win within FIRST. It is awarded to teams who best embody FIRST core values, as well as their mission to inspire STEM values. So we won this award by hosting LEGO Robotics camps, logging 2,000 plus student outreach hours, opening our new 6,500 square foot SPAM Robotics STEM Center, thanks to our lovely school board, becoming a hub for FTC, FOL, and FLL Explore competition robotics teams, mentoring these teams in local schools and assisting other FIRST teams, as well as sharing our Spamalytics scouting system, which has helped other FRC teams nationwide elevate their strategy. We are committed to inclusion and mentorship. We have doubled female participation and uniting students from 5 public high schools, private schools, and homeschoolers. With 77% student volunteer rate at FIRST events and 6 Dean's List finalists, we continue to set the standard for leadership and excellence in FIRST. So our upcoming season, the game this year is going to be archaeology inspired. Our official game release is going to be January 10th. Our competitions are going to be in March 18th to 21st, the Orlando Regional. That's going to be at UCF. April 8th to 11th is going to be our South Florida Regional. And then April 29th to May 2nd is going to be the first World Championship.
So at the beginning of the school year, we set up a booth at South Fork, Jensen, and Martin for incoming students, and that we had a decent amount of interest. And we have, I think this is I've only been on the team for a year, but there's a lot more newer members this year than there was last season, and it's been cool to give all of them the opportunity to learn and show them what we know as being on the team for longer. And then with all these new students, we've been having computer-aided design classes, which is 3D modeling, which Zach and I both teach. And then we have electrical classes where we're teaching the kids to solder and crimp wires to actually transfer these skills to the robot in the upcoming season. And then as well as machining. So on the next slide, I think, yeah, we laid out a bunch of drawings, and we're telling them, you gotta find the stock and then drill the holes, and they're basically assembling mock robots so they can get the skills to, when our kickoff comes around on January 10th, they're ready to start letting their ideas come out and basically showing us what their prototypes will look like. And then also programming as well, and they've been doing a lot of simulation on like coding the robot in a simulation and testing out different arms and designs and getting oriented with that so they're ready for the season. And then we're getting them ready, or that was before we had a Pirates Pillage competition, which is basically an off-season event that was, I believe in October? Yeah, in October. So the rookies, the newer members, got to make their own robot, and we designed it for them because that's the hardest part, and then we let them figure out everything else, how to assemble it and how to problem solve when things didn't work. A lot of things didn't work, so they got to figure that out, and we got to stand there and watch. It was pretty fun. And then, so that's Pirates Pillage, which we'll give you to Zach.
All right, so before we talk about the event itself, during the previous year, we constantly had teams over to use our field because we're one of the only teams in Florida that's lucky enough to have a full field because it's absolutely massive. It takes up about half our warehouse. So we had a ton of teams doing that, and we also had teams for Pirates Pillage come in and practice for the off-season event. So on Pirates Pillage itself, this was 100% like rookie-based. That was our goal of the whole event, was to keep people interested. As Lenny said, we had a ton of new members this year. I think it's the most we've had since COVID. And when I first saw how many people were here on our kickoff, I was absolutely amazed because it was like double or triple. Anyways, so yeah, it was completely rookie-based, so that's why we had an off-season robot as well. We haven't done that since 2022, I believe, which was my first year, so that was a really good impact I wanted to share. So these are some pictures from other teams coming over and Pirates Pillage. And here's the event. On the right, you can see that tiny robot. It only has one motor to actually spit out game pieces. It's very simple, but it was completely built by rookies, and they were really proud of it. At that event, they actually went pretty far. There was only 25 teams there, but out of all of them, they placed fourth in their alliance, so they went pretty far. And then Spam went undefeated in qualifications and won the regional. But that wasn't as important as the rookies. Sorry, I want to keep talking about rookies because I'm really proud of them. But literally at that event, there was not a single veteran that touched the robot the entire time. All there was an adult coach. The rookies, they switched out with human player. We switched drivers constantly. We switched technicians. Everybody was in the pit learning. It was really hands-on. And this all came, this experience came with the price to join the team, so there's no added cost or anything. So it's a really good experience. And then after that, we had the air show, which, as we know, was a little bit down in attendance this year, but it was still successful for us. We were able to make sales there. We sell meat sticks. We sell ornaments. Meat sticks is random. Well, not really. Our name is Spam, isn't it? But yeah. We sold ornaments and Legos, and it's really cool because to show off our robots to all the little kids. Like, they like to go catch the stuff when we were shooting a robot. That's fun. It always gets a lot of attention, but yeah.
So SPAM has been continuously working towards growing this community's future in STEM. Our STEM Center is home to 4 First LEGO League Challenge teams, 1 First LEGO League Explore team, and 1 First Tech Challenge team. We also hosted 3 STEM camps this year, 2 over the summer and 1 over Thanksgiving break. So part of our growing STEM future within our community is our STEM Center field trips. We have had Crystal Lake Elementary School, Anderson Middle School, Hidden Oaks Middle School, and Stewart Middle School participating in these STEM Center field trips. During these field trips, students learn about innovation, technology, and future careers within STEM. They also get to learn about FRC and FIRST and about our team. Thank you so much for your support.
Well, with veteran leadership like this, you can see why they're an elite group. So thank you. Thanks again. Happy holidays to everybody.
The smiles on your faces show how proud you are of the program, and I know we are very proud too. Thank you all very much. Okay, next up we have our student representative, Delaney Miller.
Good afternoon, everyone. These are the December notes from the 3 high schools. To start off with Martin County High School, the MCHS debate team had an outstanding month. In November, Ian Hodges, Macy Trail, and Tawny Whiteside all placed in the top 6 at their regional tournament. Then, in December, the team traveled to George Mason University in Virginia, where Ella Moray advanced to the semifinals and Miranda Luban reached the quarterfinals, both finishing in the top 30 nationally. Congratulations to these incredible students. Looking ahead, MCHS will host a specialty Pathways Night on January 12th at 6 p.m. in the Media Center. This event is open to all prospective families, including those outside of our zone, and will showcase our academic and CTE programs. The Sunshine Committee honored Catherine Manahan, our amazing science teacher and Green Club advisor, as November's Employee of the Month. Congratulations, Ms. Manahan. Our AVID program has launched its annual guest speaker series, connecting students with local leaders and professionals to learn about their careers and experiences. We're always looking for more speakers, so check out our social media or contact MCHS if you'd like to participate. On the topic of school spirit, we recently held our winter festival where students could participate in free games and activities during their lunch break. Our new principal, Ms. Vogel, started the Teacher Spirit Week for the 12 Days of Christmas. Leadership led a coffee cart door-to-door yesterday, delivering holiday cheer to faculty and staff. The 12 Days of Christmas celebrations, organized by leadership, faculty, and staff committees, are being delivered each day. Today, club sponsors received snow globes. MCHS is decking the halls, a competition across the school where third-period classes decorate their hallways, coordinating with their academic subject. This year's theme was Nutcrackers. The winner will be announced on Thursday. On Friday, band, Opus, ROTC, and Cheer will be performing in the pep rally planned by the Leadership School Spirit Committee. Our fall and winter sports will be represented and get to participate in fun games for the school to watch. Finally, our Performing Arts Department is spreading holiday cheer with 2 concerts this week. The Tiger Regiment Winter Performance tonight at 6 p.m. and the Choral Department concert on Thursday, December 18th at 7 p.m. in the auditorium. Everyone is welcome to join us and celebrate the season with this wonderful music. Now for Jensen Beach High School. The JBHS Band held its annual holiday concert on December 9th, drawing a full crowd and collecting canned goods to support House of Hope. They are incredibly grateful to everyone who came and donated. A big congratulations to Falcons' Lizzie Fitzwater, who scored her 1,000th career point in girls basketball at Jensen Beach High School, which is a huge achievement. She has been nominated for the TC Palms Athlete of the Week. The JBHS Drama Department is hard at work rehearsing for the spring musical, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, with performances scheduled for late February and early March. To celebrate teachers before the holiday break, campus clubs have donated beautiful gift baskets for a raffle. Teachers will also enjoy festive music in the courtyard from the band and Jubilate, plus homemade pancakes served by the administration team. Finally, for South Fork High School, WPBF surprised South Fork's Mr. Derek Kroom as their Teacher of the Month, awarding him a $1,000 check for his program. One of his students nominated him with a heartfelt letter that impressed the station. His segment aired November 26th. Visit martinschools.org to watch the story. The esports team attended its first in-person event at Kaiser University, competing against schools from across the state. The team placed 3rd in Super Smash Bros. And 2nd in Marvel Rivals. Great job, Bulldogs. The Spanish National Honor Society inducted 60 new members in November, bringing the total to 139. They're currently hosting a Toys for Tots drive for Holy Cross Church in Indiantown and celebrating the holidays with a festive fiesta. South Fork's girls soccer is having an incredible season, ranked 1st in the district with a 9-2-1 record. Soccer star Kaylin Jones was nominated for TC Palm Athlete of the Week and is ranked among the top 3 nationally, top 2 in Florida, and 1st in Class 5A for goals scored. She's on track to break the school record of 38 goals in a season. FFA members showcased incredible talent at the recent sub-district competitions. Jack Savarse competed in the FFA Creed speaking contest, delivering the official creed from memory with confidence and precision. Julius Mirabal excelled in safe tractor operations, earning second place and missing first by just seconds after acing both the written and oral portions of the event. Mackenzie Martinez tackled the extemporaneous public speaking event, where participants draw a topic at random and have only 15 minutes to prepare a 5-minute speech using 3 reference books. Her topic, Myths in Agriculture, was especially challenging since it's not a standard section in any book, but she rose to the occasion with creativity and poise. Congratulations to all of these students for their hard work and impressive achievements. That is all I have for this month. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Delaney. And as you all know, this is a really stressful time of year for our seniors as they are preparing college applications, and early action decisions came out. And Delaney, do you want to share with the rest? I heard you sharing some good news, and I would like for you to share it with the rest of the board.
I did get accepted, and I have fully committed to the University of Miami, and I will be starting in fall of 2026.
Congratulations. I am a Seminole, but I'm still proud of you. We'll see you on the football field. Okay, moving on, we have our superintendent update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We will move through this time of year. Always like to bring the many updates that the district has achieved and accomplishments throughout the year, as this will be our last board meeting of the 2025 school year. So the first thing that we're going to highlight is going to be some of our operations team. This year, our operations teams continue to demonstrate exceptional dedication in supporting all of our students in our schools. Our food nutrition services team has provided more than 2.4 million nutritious meals to students, ensuring that they are prepared to learn each day. Our maintenance teams have completed over 60 major projects across the district and closed close to 6,000 work orders, improving the safety and functionality of our campuses. And last but certainly not least, on the operations side of the house, our transportation department traveled more than 1.4 million miles, delivering students to and from school safely. Let's give them a round of applause. Those are big feats. These accomplishments reflect the commitment of our staff who keep our schools running smoothly and help create conditions for student success. Next up, we'd like to spend a little bit of time recognizing our instructional team who completed our most comprehensive cycle of instructional monitoring to date. Every school participated in full rigor walks, followed by targeted mini walks, debriefs, and action plans that clearly identified growth areas that we need to continue to work on. We also introduced targeted support visits to provide principals with real-time collaborative coaching aligned to their needs. These visits strengthened our feedback loops, improved monitoring of instructional practices, and reinforced alignment between the district and our schools. Together, these efforts have created a more consistent, supportive approach to elevating classroom instruction across the district, and from our PM1 data to PM2 data, which we will begin to give the board updates on all of our raised schools. We are seeing progress and growth in every single areas. So hats off to the curriculum and instruction department. Thank you. Moving into our professional learning department, we expanded and strengthened our district's professional learning and leadership development systems. This year, the district launched the Professional Learning Communities Leadership Network, a year-long job-embedded series aimed at deepening the work of collaborative teaching teacher teams and building sustainable structures across all of our schools. We also hosted a comprehensive assistant principal leadership day that brought together HR, student services, curriculum, and instruction to provide aligned, cohesive support for all of our school leaders. In addition, several schools participated in teaching study cycles, an approach like lesson study that encourages peer observation, collaborative reflection, and professional dialogue around effective instruction. These efforts, along with ongoing support for all of our new educators, coaching partnerships, and alignment to our strategic plan, have collectively strengthened leadership capacity and reinforced our district instructional priorities. We also had a huge focus in early literacy this school year by implementing the University of Florida, sorry, Mrs. Powers, Literacy Institute foundations in all schools. Teachers received ongoing coaching to deepen their understanding of the structured phonics, while district teams conducted regular walkthroughs of each of these early learning classrooms to ensure instruction was consistent and aligned with the UFLY framework. We developed systems to track phonics instruction quality, foundational skills, and resource use, creating a more coherent approach across each and every one of our schools. Our partnership with the University of Florida further supports this work, helping us integrate UFLY into our broader literacy strategy and ensure that every student has the strong reading foundation they need prior to entering into third grade. A little bit more information on our RAISE schools, otherwise known as our No C Schools initiative. This year, we have significantly strengthened those supports at all identified RAISE schools. Each school now has identified a dedicated district mentorship team of 2 leaders who provide ongoing guidance through frequent check-ins, walkthroughs, and the monitoring of each of those schools' literacy and math goals. We also have a monthly RAISE Literacy Leadership Council that brings together principals, literacy leaders, and their mentorship teams to review the student progress at those schools, share best practices, and engage in professional learning together as RAISE school principals focused on early literacy and intervention. Bi-weekly visits to each of those schools have been focusing on instructional quality, all of their intervention systems, and the implementation of our expectations with fidelity at each of those schools. Teams from our Federal Programs Department, Curriculum and Instruction, Assessment and Accountability, Professional Learning, ESE, and Student Services have all been working collaboratively to ensure that the schools received all of the aligned resources that we believe will provide consistent growth in each of our expected measures. A little bit of highlights for our ESE accomplishments this year. I'm proud to share that several key achievements from our ESE department have met our goals. Students in those areas. Students with disabilities at 15 of our schools tested as proficient. 16 schools either maintained or improved their ESSA performance scores. On Federal Percent of Points Index for students with disabilities increased overall from the previous year, highlighting measurable growth. Additionally, over 1,000 second grade students have been screened for gifted education, helping us to identify students throughout the district that are advanced learners. And finally, restraint and seclusion incidents decreased by more than 37% compared to last year, underscoring our focus on creating safe and supportive learning environments. It's important to note that the board that in 22-23 we had 110 incidents. In 23-24 we had 99, and I'm proud to report that last year, closing out the year for 24-25, we decreased to just 62 incidents, and we will continue to decrease these incidents each year. We also, the Assessment and Accountability team, led by Gus and Katie Bond, have tackled a very large initiative that I've pushed this year to move us back to Power BI with our instructional data dashboards to give our schools and district leaders clear interactive view of data from multiple sources, transforming what we often saw as fragmented information into actionable insights. And by providing a common language and single source for our school administrators to use these dashboards, it is allowing them to make informed decisions in real time as we pull all of their data from Performance Matters, their summative assessments, their formative assessments, as well as all of the PM1, PM2 data and IXL by subject area into one location by school. This supports the targeted instructional planning that we are working towards maximizing for the spring assessments, all while ensuring that the data is secure and fully compliant with student data protocols. And I'm glad that SPAM stayed because I do want to thank Stacy and the team and Dan Moore and his team, along with Kevin Farrell, for the lift this year and kicking off our robotics field trips that have been absolutely a pleasure to go over and watch the students interacting from our local schools. And I think will continue to help with your recruitment efforts, and I'm happy that you had one of the largest recruitment classes and interest that you've ever had, so thank you to the team. Students in elementary and middle schools participated in full-day immersive experiences, building and programming robots, solving challenges through engineering design protocols, and exploring those real-world applications of robotics, coding, and automation. They also collaborated with high school robotics mentors who were there to help coach them, and STEM professionals through the community, gaining early exposure to STEM pathways. This program has generated strong enthusiasm amongst our students, teachers, and school leaders, and its successful rollout lays the groundwork for further expansion and partnerships that will support workforce readiness. So again, thank you. And last but certainly not least, thank you for giving me this time, Madam Chair. As we approach the winter break, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation for students, families, all of our employees, and community partners. This season is a time to definitely pause, reflect, and celebrate on the incredible work that is happening across our district each day. I'm grateful to our teachers and staff for their dedication, to our families for their trust and partnership, and to our students for the joy, curiosity, and resilience that you bring to our schools every day. Your collective efforts are what make our school district such a special place to learn and grow. I hope this holiday season brings you peace, rest, and meaningful time with the people who matter most to you in your lives. Happy holidays from me to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Main. Okay, next up, we have any other information reports? I know, Ms. Roberts, you had a question about two items, 15.08. Take that one, the charter school financial reports.
Yeah, so I noticed in the charter school financial reports, the fund balance piece for Indian Town High School their current budget had an adjustment of $842,000. I don't know if you noticed that, Carter, but it put them back where they're like at less than 100,000. It's like 50-something thousand now for their fund balance piece.
I'm looking at the income statement, Mrs. Roberts. I'm not seeing the balance sheet fund balance.
So I'm looking at the page almost to the end. It's like
Yes.
it's the one that has the spreadsheet right before the thing that says Indian River State College Summary of Item for Action, Performance Pay. It's right before the performance pay page. So right before the performance pay, when it talks about revenues, and it shows the present budget at $889,729, a budget amendment of $842,245, and leaving a remaining budget balance of $47,000. Do you see that?
No.
It's like the fifth line down on that page.
Are we looking at the Indiantown High School?
I'm looking at Indiantown High School's summary of revenues and expenses operating fund unaudited for the period ending 9/30/2025.
Bear with me for a moment.
Okay, it's the page right before their performance pay pieces. It's the second page of the page that talks about the charter school PICO, charter school local capital improvement, LCIR. And then right after that is the summary of revenues and expenses.
Yes, I see the amendment for the 842,245.
Yeah, that leaves a remaining budget balance at 47,000. When you scroll across to the next to the last column.
Yes, we will check with the high school and see what that is.
Yeah, if you could check and report back to the board, that just seems like a huge, huge number and a really low fund balance. Thank you.
Are there any other questions on any of the items, 15.07, 9, 10? Ms. Roberts has a question on 15.11.
So 15.11 is the fiscal year 2025 operational performance audit that audited in 8 different categories. I know that 3 of the categories got criticality findings, and 5 of them got high criticality findings, and the other 5 got medium ones. So no greens, 5 yellows, and 3 reds. I noticed a couple things when I read this. I noticed that one was there were 3 items that that said in the item as they were looking, they were giving the synopsis of it. It was saying that management didn't appear to be aware. I think it was 1, 6, and 8, where the cause says, based on management inquiry, management was not fully aware of their responsibility to with compliance with a law. And that kind of concerns me, that 3 out of the 8, we were unaware of knowing that we had that compliance issue. I noticed that a lot of these things, and I don't think this whole audit is on the shoulders of Mark Seacrest. I think Mark is doing a wonderful job. There's a lot of interrelated parts in here that are relating to whether it has to do with enrollment, whether it has to do with ET. There's 2 cases that are talking about, oh, I think it's ET, we're looking for a larger solution, and we're going through that process, and that will be available at the end of the year. That doesn't answer how we're going to take care of it now and what we're going to do with it as of now. And I think this is something that the audit, when we get an audit from an outside entity and we get the audit findings, I think it's something that the board, instead of it just being an informational item, I think it's something that the board needs to discuss, whether we discuss that at a workshop or something. I know that the deputy superintendent isn't here, but she's the one who's in charge of operations. And I think we probably need to do a deeper dive into these 8 things and kind of see what's going on with those 8 things and which things are, there were 2 things that were a Scribner's error, and there's things where the person who was submitting a request was approving the request at the same time. And it just doesn't seem that saying, okay, well, we're going to do some training and that's all going to be fixed. It doesn't address a larger issue, so.
So, Ms. Roberts, I actually made a note to add the operations audit. I agree with you. I think we need to have a deeper discussion. What is our plan moving forward? If we want to add that to our January workshop or possibly February, I know that this is wrapping up. It's not going to have time to really evaluate it, but I would suggest that there be a plan in place to address all of these, and then we'll have the discussion at the board meeting or the workshop in February.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions on the information-only reports? Okay, seeing none. Board member information shared. Dr. Moriarty.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As many of you know, I've been doing school site visits with various members of the district, Superintendent Main, Dr. Miller, and PTA representatives. Upon one of these visits to Citrus Grove Elementary, I was informed that there is an ice cream cooler. If you could put that pick up, Mr. Hall. There we go. There's an ice cream cooler that provides various ice cream options like chocolate sundaes, cookies and cream cones, ice cream sandwiches, and even the chocolate scooter crunch bar. These items are available for purchase every single day to our students, regardless if they eat their lunch or not. As community leaders, our priority is the health and well-being of every student. While treats like ice cream are enjoyable on occasion, making them a daily part of a child's diet is not advisable for several reasons. First, from a nutritional standpoint, foods like ice cream are high in added sugars and saturated fats, and provide what public health experts call empty calories, calories without meaningful nutrients. Regularly consuming high sugar foods can contribute to obesity, type 2 diabetes, dental cavities, and long-term cardiometabolic issues. Excess sugar also plays a role in patterns of energy and behavior that can be challenging for children. Frequent large sugar intakes can lead to blood glucose spikes and crashes, which may affect concentration and mood. Nutrition experts and parents alike often note that the high amounts of sugar can worsen inattention, impulsivity, hyperactivity, and behaviors like ADHD. ADHD is one of the most common neurodevelopment conditions affecting children today. Recent data shows that roughly 1 in 9 children has been diagnosed with ADHD at some point in their lives. Children with ADHD may already struggle with impulse control, focus, and self-regulation. A diet consistently high in sugary items like ice cream could compound difficulties with sustained attention, energy balance, and overall behavioral regulation, especially when healthier fuel sources are displaced. That's why balanced nutrition, including fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and dairy with less sugar, is critical for supporting cognitive and physical development. In fostering a school environment that supports healthy bodies and healthy minds, we encourage families and our school nutrition programs to offer sweet treats occasionally rather than on a daily basis, and to emphasize meals and snacks that support sustained energy, attention, and long-term health. Sadly, right now, these products are available on a daily basis with no parental choice on the matter. Literally, children have been spotted going through the lunch line, dumping their meal in the trash, and buying ice cream on a daily basis. This should be a treat, not the norm. I ask that this school board take action to right this wrong. Our kids are depending on us. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other information that the board would like to share? Any, Dr. Moriarty, if you'd like to get with the superintendent and determine what action, if any, that we, superintendent would like to recommend to the board, and then we can
Yes.
present it as an action item.
Well, that's kind of why we're here. I did meet with the superintendent, and he said to bring this to the board and decide if we'd like to have a workshop about this. Again, I would think it's very, very important. So is there consensus, or?
Well, what do we want the superintendent to bring to the workshop? I'd like to know what the issues are schools are facing. Are they seeing, I have heard that some kids are racking up bills, on their lunch account, ice cream and things, and parents have voiced some concerns about that. So let's just decide, what information do we want the superintendent to bring to us to make the best decision? Ms. Pritchett?
Is this at all of the schools?
So yes, and I think what I would like to do is at a workshop have Laura Hamadal in the Food and Nutrition Department present what the current practice is, as well as what is actually being served in those bins. Every school has them, and give you the data that you're looking for by way of, how many outstanding bills there are, and things of that nature. I know that for just, the reason why I wanted it to come to the board is because if we make a decision to stop selling snacks, there's obviously a whole nother group out there that would like for their students to be able to have access to those snacks and to be able to purchase them. So we need to approach this in a way that's going to be fair and equitable across the board, whether we are only serving those snacks on Fridays, whether we're doing it Monday through Friday, whether the board would like to have policy around not having snacks. But I also would like you all to know the nutritional value or non-nutritional value of what's in those coolers, so that you're aware of that as well and can make an informed decision.
Ms. Roberts?
Yeah, and I'd also like to know, can parents say, I don't want my kid to have any ice cream?
Yes.
Are they able to say, I only want my kid to have one ice cream on Friday? Are they able to say that, or is that out of their parents' control?
Yes, when we receive calls, I know, I'll use my own kiddos as an example. There is a note in the system that they are not allowed to buy certain products. So when they go through the POS line and they get to the register, the note will pop up on the system the same way it flags an allergy, a food allergy, and the cashier at that time will ask the student to put the item back. They're not allowed to have it. Laura Homadal, our director, is here. She's shaking her head. I want want to make sure that I get all that information correct. But parents who call or email the school and/or have conversations with the manager, the cafeteria manager, those notes are put in the system. They also have the ability, Laura, you correct me if I'm wrong, to go in and put the notes in themselves. So if they log into their account online, the same account that they use to pay, put money on their student's account, they can put restrictions into that system as well.
So that's whether it's an allergy or a preference?
Correct.
Correct, they're treated the same?
Correct.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it would be good to have a workshop and look at exactly what, if any, there's nutritional value is in those products and what that revenue is used for and what that looks like. And exactly what the opt-in, opt-out piece looks like too. Thank you.
Yes, and I'd like to know like the sales numbers, but if we're going to look at snacks, we should probably look at snacks as a whole, not just ice cream or, you know, all the snacks. I know we've had conversations about that in the past, so just bring an updated presentation for the board members that have not heard that. I know we addressed the red dye in the past. We've addressed certain health issues, so let's we'll present that at a workshop. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about when it would fit into the agenda. So I'll get with Diane, you and Diane, and we'll figure out when it'll fit on an agenda between after the first of the year. Okay, perfect. Thanks for bringing that up.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, next up we have open public comment. Public comment. Citizen input is vital to the improvement of our district. Most times, your remarks may be listened to without comment from the board members or superintendent. This does not mean they are heard with any less intensity or concern. Where appropriate, the superintendent and staff will investigate your comments and report back to you and the board with an answer. We thank you for taking the time and having the concern to make our district better. Your presentation to the board should not exceed 3 minutes. Letters or statements from others not present can be given to our clerk, who will be sure that each school board member and the superintendent receive a copy. To keep our records straight and authentic, our policy does not permit you to read statements of others into the record. Okay. You will have 3 minutes, and our first speaker is Jeremiah Johnson.
Well, good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Superintendent Main, and district staff. For the record, my name is Jeremiah Johnson with the construction management firm of Jacquin & Sons Construction. And with me today is our president, Mike Jacquin, off to my right, and my colleague, Chris Singley. So we're just here, and we're honored, and we're thankful this time of giving, this season of giving. And we're just appreciative of everything that you do as a district, all your accomplishments, and hearing that list. So congratulations. Of course, as an engineer myself, hearing about the SPAM Club, it's just so exciting to see what you do and your investment in students. That exact investment is how I became here today, or came here today. So I wanted to share with you, we were looking back on some of our projects, and it's been almost exactly 2 years since we moved you and partnered with you at the district into this facility here. The Jacquin & Sons team was able to build this out in this beautiful facility. Also, in a couple years, or a couple year anniversary in March, would be a special project for me, Palm City Elementary School, where we took on a task of moving the entire old school over spring break into the new school. And what a challenge, what an exciting time. We were able to do the ribbon cutting, but I wanted to share that with the board members that maybe were not there at that time, but we wanted to just appreciate that history. But why am I here? Really, it's a season of giving, like I stated before. It's a very good time to just bless others. And so we were talking with the Education Foundation, and we thought of a unique idea of sharing with you all an opportunity through the Education Foundation of providing funds to each of your districts. But it's in one contribution to the Education Foundation, where you can work with Lisa Rhodes and just figure out what your needs are within your district. Maybe it's some kind of an initiative or a project that's special to you as board members through the Education Foundation. So the Jacquin & Sons team is just very thankful for what you do, and tonight we're here to share with you and to present to the Education Foundation a gift of $10,000 to the Education Foundation of Martin County on behalf of your students and your community. So we just want to say thank you very much, and we are very appreciative, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's really exciting. And we appreciate our continued partnership with you and the Education Foundation as we continue to do great things for our students. So thank you. Next up is Carol Saki.
Good afternoon. I wrote this last month, but was unable to make it to the super convenient school board meeting time, and was surprised that while listening today as I rushed over, this pertains to your first presentation about social workers. A few years ago, I attended a workshop, and during the presentation, heard a statistic that was stunning to me as a longtime Martin County resident. The statistic the district put out was that 53% of our students live below the poverty line. That number has resonated with me, although it may have changed up or down since I originally heard it. Regardless, it's way too high. Children with inadequate access to food and medical care can never function at their peak, and statistically will be trapped in a circle of poverty. While government is politically weaponizing food assistance as they punch down on the neediest among us, I need to bring to your attention another simultaneous crisis happening to a percentage of our students in the Hispanic communities. On the afternoon of October 23rd, I was a firsthand witness to a massive multi-agency response to an arguably minor traffic infraction. Within minutes, I witnessed 25 to 30 law enforcement units with highly visible weapons, plus helicopters, converge on the Golden Gate community. As I witnessed the spectacle, I noticed the afternoon school buses driving right into the middle of it. As students exited the buses to head home from the school day, I watched in helpless horror as they ran crying through backyards and side streets, trying to get home. One of those students was met with their front door busted in and their family gone. There are many details of the incident and the week-long task force activity that I'm leaving out due to time constraints. But if you do not recognize that the children of our district communities are in crisis and being terrorized, we don't belong in oversight. Mr. Maine and board members, I'm asking that your overburdened mental health team concentrate efforts on your Title I schools because they are dealing with a level of trauma we've never seen before. Your educators care so deeply about the students, and so many of them are watching them struggle with the trauma being inflicted upon them, while others suffer silently. Still waters run deep, and children in our community are suffering in ways none of you can really imagine due to their ethnicity and their skin color. I implore you to add more bilingual mental health specialists to your budget, and this board provide the oversight to ensure additional funds and staffing are put in place as quickly as possible. I am changed forever by what I witnessed, and I can only imagine the effect it had on those students. Lastly, I read reports yesterday that the governor is proposing $200 million toward teacher pay for the new year. The point of using the $200 million figure is to make it sound significant, when the fact is spread out over 220,000 educators in the state of Florida. That will equate to roughly $20 a week, not enough to buy a pizza on the way home on a Friday. Let's make sure our community is not manipulated again by the headline and break down the reality of what it really means to the educators who are still trying to stick it out in our failing system. Hearing you tell Tallahassee not good enough is long overdue. Thank you.
Thank you. Melissa Burke.
Good evening. I've had concerns about algebra honors class and the middle schools, particularly Murray Middle. It seems to be that a class is being taught with a group of low learners and 6 ESE students with 2 teachers, but the way the day looks is teacher number 1 tells the students to get working while teacher number 2 works a little bit. And we've been paying for tutors for the entire year because our student keeps coming home saying he's just not learning, he's not being taught. Well, finally, there was a substitute and some things changed, and we found out that they're doing a building thinking classroom model, but they're not getting direct instruction first from teacher number 1. So when she was absent, teacher number 2 stepped up and did direct instruction, labeled the algebra problem for the students. It took her 6 minutes to do direct instruction, and then allowed the students to go out and work collaboratively on the whiteboards. So my concern's been going on for a while. You should be concerned as well. Your December progress monitoring test for math was very poor. You may want your students to be at about 50% at this time of the year, maybe 40 if you're really, really accepting that. Our district average was 30-something. My son, 32. So he comes home and says 32 out of 100. If it's halfway through the year and he just doubles his score on the last test, the EOC, he still fails. Your district average is failing. If they double, they will still fail the EOC. I'm asking for you to, after break, do something with money to allow intervention at Murray Middle to help these students now so they can catch up and get the skills gaps so they can feel confident to show up at the EOC. Lastly, the test is concerning to all parents. The test is an end-of-year 8th grade EOC mock test. The kids have only seen algebra since August. Again, low testing kids, 6 ESE students, and they've only seen it since August. Come to find out, the test is geared to be at the end of the year, so these students really come home thinking they earned a 32, a 34 out of 100 and are failing. There needs to be more communication to the students what that test means, and a lot more communication to the parents as to what that test means. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, that's a problem too. Lastly, parental consent. I can fill out a form for books, but I can't get those books back. I want ice cream. I'll fill out a parental consent. You cannot take ice cream away from everybody. If they want no ice cream, have them sign. They've always been able to do it. It's just like removing books. Thanks. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Kelly Rubando.
Hi.
Did I say that right?
Yes, Roboto. It's hard. It's okay. It was actually better than most people get. Okay, so I am part of Citrus Grove PTA board. I was lucky enough to have Brian come visit us. And I am also on the Martin County board. The mission statement for the school district is to educate all students for success. We cannot do that if students are fed ice cream all the time. Now, it's different for middle school than it is for elementary school. There are 12 elementary schools in your district. You're asking 5-year-olds to make good choices. Let me be clear. I'm not asking you to eliminate ice cream to take away a parent's choice. A parent can choose to send their kid with as many desserts as they want, but a 5-year-old cannot make healthy choices. My 5-year-old would live off of ice cream. She thinks that's a food group. That's what she would eat for ice cream. I would encourage all of you to not just listen to whatever's presented to you. I would ask that you come visit the school. Walk the lunch line. Actually, at the elementary school level, you can come in and you can help during kinder and first grade lunch, and you can see what they do. For the large portion of the kids, they will take their meal, they will dump it out, and then they will go get their snacks. Up at the snack bar, there are Doritos, there are all sorts of chips, whatever treats, and then there's the ice cream section. Yes, they are smart snacks, so they are healthier, but they're not healthy. There's no nutritional value, okay? Smart snacks are still processed. There's still added sugar. There's still refined carbs. There's no nutrients in it, okay? There's something special, and we have to, as a school district, make decisions to help our younger kids live a healthy life. Our job, I would love to say that my job as a parent is I take care of all my kids and I'm the only person that's contributing to that. But the reality is that they're with the schools 8 hours a day. And so I work in partnership with the teachers and the staff to make sure that I'm building a whole human being and I'm teaching my kids healthy eating habits. And yes, as a parent, we do have the right to say, okay, my kid can't eat ice cream every day. But I'll tell you what, I come from a household when I was young where I had a mom and a dad who are working, and mom and dad have a lot going on their plate, and they don't realize the kids are throwing away their whole lunch and living off ice cream. And they're not the ones dealing with the behaviors. There's teachers involved in this. So please, please do not just sit here and get the information. Go out to the schools, contact me. I will get you in contact with a parent who can walk the line with you. See what the kids are doing. Participate in kinder and first grade lunch and help open up snacks and watch how many of them dump out their lunch. Talk to the teachers who are working there, who have to experience it. So if you as the board really want to dig into this, please take your time to go out there and contact me anytime.
Thank you. Okay, that will conclude public comment. And now we're moving on to item number 18. There's no school board travel. 18.02, which is requisitions to be approved for purchase orders over $100,000. Are there any questions?
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Dr. Moriarty. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next up, we have committee appointments. I know that everyone submitted their committee appointments. There were a couple of committees that did not have, that no one selected. I did go ahead and, one of them was the insurance committee, and I did go ahead and select that one for myself. But we had a couple, the other one is the District Advisory Council. And I guess I'll take that one. I just have to make sure it doesn't conflict with other meetings. But one is the Children's Services Council. Ms. Roberts and Dr. Moriarty both asked to be on that, and we can obviously only have one appointee. So, Ms. Roberts and Dr. Moriarty, do you want to kind of talk through that, or do you want us to just vote on it? This is our first year, going through this process, which I think is a good process. We can talk about, so like Ms. Roberts, we can talk about the other ones.
Children's Services. So I'm fine with Dr. Moriarty taking that one.
Okay.
I just didn't want, I was concerned if nobody put it down, it would have a gap, so that's why I put it down there. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, and then Clark Management Board is, Ms. Roberts asked for that one. Council for the Arts is Ms. Pritchett. DAC is me. Education Foundation, Jen. Head Start Policy Board, Jen. Indiantown High School Management Board, Jen and Lee both asked for that one as well.
So what have you assigned me to? That's what I don't know.
Well, the ones that didn't have anybody else want them were Clark Management Board, School Health Advisory, and Town of Ocean Breeze.
Okay, so I can take Town of Ocean Breeze. That's fine. So at this point, I have Town of Ocean Breeze and Clark, is that right?
And the School Health Advisory Committee.
I don't
Didn't
have
you
that
ask for
page,
that?
but I put that down, or I think I had a conflict on
February 19th and May 21st.
Let me look those up. I don't remember. Did I put that down as a?
Yes.
I did? Oh, then I must have checked them. Then that's fine.
So then the only other, so you and Ms. Russell asked for Indiantown High School Management Board.
What do you have? Yeah, that's fine.
So that, I
that's fine.
agree. I think that's in your district. I think it's appropriate.
Okay.
Okay. So that'll be Jen. And then I just have one comment on the Treasure Coast Council for Local Governments. Amy, you requested that. I'm on that. I am the incoming secretary, but when they asked me to do it, I warned them that I may not be the representative on the committee, so I'm fine. I can let them know that I can't serve if you want to take that committee. It really.
I never did it before, and I was interested. I can
And-
still come, right? Can I
Yeah,
come as
well,
like an alternate?
Probably, did we talk about things as a group? It would probably be best to have one board member, and quite honestly, I have done it since I'm the only one that's ever requested it. So I'm fine giving it up, and I'll let them know that you want to be the secretary. But it's not, it's not a, they don't do, the secretary is really just, there's someone there that takes the minutes of and types them up, and it really is just because it's in the bylaws. Okay. So it's not like but I'll let them know that you're interested in being the secretary, and I'm fine giving that one up. Okay. So. Wow. Congratulations. Yes.
Can you read us those again as to who had?
Okay. Children's Services Council, Brian. Clark Management, Lee. Council for the Arts, Amy. DAC, Marcia. Education Foundation, Jen. Head Start Policy Board, Jen. Indiantown High School Management Board, Jen. Insurance Committee, Marcia. School Health Advisory Committee, Lee. Town of Ocean Breeze, Lee. And Treasure Coast Council of Local Governments is Amy. And then, of course, we are, right now, Amy is the main person for the Value Adjustment Board, and then we are all listed as alternates. When do we vote on that at a certain time of year, right? Is it in June or, okay. Yeah. So we'll see this one again before the appointments come about in December of next year of 26.
So I'm seeing that Brian just has CSE? Is that the only thing he?
Well, and we have the Chamber of Commerce, that stuff that has.
We all
not
have
been-
the Chamber of Commerce.
Right,
piece.
right.
So if you want, Brian, if you want either Clark or the School Health Advisory,
I just only put myself down there because I know it's a lot of meetings and it's a lot of heavy lifting for that. So I solely put that down just out of respect to time. But if you don't want something, I could take it on, but.
well, I mean, because Clark only has a couple meetings a year, and the same with School Health Advisory. So if you wanted, I mean,
And
it's
they
only,
have their dates already set, February 2nd and June 22nd at 4 p.m. I don't know what your schedule is, but if,
and I think the dates for, did I put the dates down for?
Say, the SHAC, the School Health Advisory, might be good for you, Brian, just because of what, your involvement with wanting to change things.
Okay.
yeah, that's February 19th and May 21st, twice a year at 3 p.m.
Okay.
You want, I mean, just so you.
If you're okay with that. I just-
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'll give this to you, Ms. Falls. Okay, are there any other questions? I know we have the chambers, but I know I go to multiple chambers. I know that others do as well, so I think we have them all covered. And if at ever a chance they want a board member to present, we will reach out to the board to see if you were willing to do that. All right. Went pretty smoothly for our first time doing that. All right, moving on to the items that were pulled. We have item 3.03.
Sure, I pulled 3.03. I don't know which attorney, and I guess I'm asking you, Mr. George, I don't know who's reviewing this, but that contract, this is a community-based vocational education agreement between Sammy J's Restaurant and the school board. It appears to be missing the liability insurance piece, confidentiality, and public records. So I don't know if you're reviewing these for those things, but I mean, it just seemed that was, I know a long time ago we adopted some common language that's supposed to be appearing in these documents, but especially the insurance one, I think is, but those three things I think were missing. It says it's a general statement that the entity agrees to maintain a comprehensive general liability and workman's comp insurance coverage or similar coverage via a self-insurance program in accordance with applicable law.
Mrs. Roberts, I reviewed it in preparation for this meeting. I don't disagree with you. If you all are able to pass it to the next meeting, then we can look at that language and add it.
Okay. So does that, you want to handle that?
So we'll pull this item, remove this item from the agenda and bring it back, or what's the best way for us to do that? I don't want to, it's hard when you table something, so I'd rather
Well, if
have
we
it-
just did no action and brought it back next time, does that?
Either no action or otherwise postpone it to the next meeting, and then I'll have a chance to add the language prior to it being put on the agenda.
And I'm okay with a motion to approve it, requesting that the attorney add the language for liability insurance confidentiality and public records to the final document, if you want to do it that way.
That works for me.
Okay, so I move to approve 3.03 with our attorney adding liability insurance confidentiality and public records to that document.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts, a second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 3.04,
3.04, that one appeared to also be missing insurance. Paragraph 4 says, each party will maintain at its own expense commercial general liability insurance for the extent required by the applicable law. Upon request, each party will provide the other with a certificate of insurance from its insurer evidencing such coverage, but it doesn't have the limits, doesn't have the language that we would normally have, and it also doesn't have anything about public records, maintaining the public records piece. It does have the confidentiality piece, but I think that those things should be included in the contract. So I will also move approval of 3.04 with the attorney adding the insurance information and the public records piece to that. If there's a second.
I have a motion by Ms. Roberts. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Russell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. 3.09, Ms. Pritchett, you had some questions, or?
Yes, Dan, can you give us some information regarding this agreement? Yeah.
Turn your mic on.
Oh, there we go. Hi, everybody. So this proposal is a partnership with Boys and Girls Club to provide after-school and Saturday ACT, SAT prep to help support college readiness for application scores and for scholarships and also for graduation concordance. And so these would be Martin County School District teachers that work for us, but they would be employed by the Boys and Girls Club to provide test prep for ACT and SAT in the after-school and Saturday space.
Thank you.
So I also had some questions that I shared with the superintendent about how, I know that they will be certified teachers. What are the qualifications? What is the training that they will receive? I just know from firsthand experience with my own children, there are a lot of things that go into prepping for SAT, whether it's a concurrent score, which is obviously, it's all about evaluating the data and evaluating the test, determining how the student tests and which test is better for them, which plays to their strengths, whether it's SAT or ACT, if they're trying to get a concurrent score. But also for college prep, there's also there's still that determination, but a lot of it is about reading the data that comes as a result of the test that they probably have already taken one. How is that, evaluated so that you're focusing on the areas where the student actually can improve? Because a lot of times, especially with concurrent scores, just because I did have this experience with my son, is really evaluating where they can make the most improvement in order to get that concurrent score. And so if they're not trained in all of those aspects, then you're just basically practicing taking the test all over again. And what are their credentials? So for example, when you're prepping for the SAT or ACT college prepping, you typically have a math teacher that teaches advanced mathematics and can teach trigonometry, which is on the ACT, versus what's on the math that they will focus on the SAT. English, an English teacher that focuses on commas and periods and punctuation and the deciphering of a paragraph. So there's more than goes into it than just paying someone $35 an hour. I'm just hesitant as a school district to endorse something without knowing what that looks like, because I don't want to set parents up if our teachers aren't properly trained.
Yeah, I can speak to that. So I had similar concerns, and so when we worked with the Boys and Girls Club, we considered many of those factors. So our team would identify which students based on a couple of different cohorts. The first one being first-time test takers. The second one would be students who don't yet have that concordant score, and so how many points do they need to go? Our team in assessment and accountability has the ability to evaluate each student's performance and figure out what their specific needs are. And so with Boys and Girls Club, we outlined the structure for them, and so we would have 3 separate cohorts that run Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday, so depending on their area of need. As far as the requirements for the position, we did provide them with what we would like the job description to entail, and they won't post anything until it is approved by the board. But it is upper-level English and math teachers, and it is experience with high-level test prep. And so our goal is to recruit some of those teachers that currently do it for Tutoring Advantage or Khan Academy. We recognize that those places pay significantly more than our $35 an hour, so Boys and Girls Club is going to post the position at $125 an hour to be aligned to what those tutors would receive working for a private tutoring company. And they would be vetted by our curriculum team for any candidates that they choose to hire.
So why, so I guess I'd like to see the job description, and I'd like to see that in writing, that that's what they're paying, because that doesn't say anything, that doesn't say that in the agreement. All the things that you're telling me?
Yeah, it's in the proposal. I don't think it's in the actual collaborative. I think the agreement was just to allow us to offer it to our students and have them on campus. The proposal that I shared last week does include all the logistics and the hourly rates and the requirements for the teachers.
The only one I saw was the $35 an hour.
The 35 would be for a literacy support initiative, which is different. That was to help supplement some additional interventionists at our raised schools to fill that after-school space after that tutoring initiative concludes. For the ACT, SAT prep, it is $125 an hour.
So, Madam Chair, this was an outside entity, Boys and Girls Club, requesting to enter into partnership with the school district to do this. So I would like to propose that we pull this item again, provide further clarification to the board or get further clarification from Boys and Girls Club before bringing this back to the part.
Yeah, and can we
request partnership.
understand when this, like exactly when this is going to take place? Is there already a schedule in place to know like this is going to happen on these days at this time, and that we have started recruiting, have they started recruiting teachers? I mean, for $125 an hour, like I think that's very fair. But I want to understand, like, are we going to be able to recruit teachers to do that? I know private tutoring companies already, a lot of our teachers work for them after school now. Is that gonna?
Yeah, so we did not advertise anything yet. We wanted to make sure we had approval from the board before we sent anything out to teachers, but we do have flyers ready. The schedule was designed to start in mid-January through March for ACT, and then we would switch to ACT because we do offer our free district testing day for ACT in April. And so through March, we were going to prepare them for ACT, and the kids who didn't get the scores they needed there, we would shift to SAT, and they would continue through May up until that test date. So the schedule and the cohort rotations are in the proposal that I can share again so that you have all that information.
And how many students?
We were targeting presently about 180 students met the requirements that we outlined for students that are first-time test takers, that would be first-time college students, and students that did not quite hit that concordance score yet. And so it was about 191 students
Ms. Roberts,
across
did
all
you
three
have
high
something?
schools.
Yeah, I had a couple things. So when I'm reading this, it says that we're identifying students and we're giving access to facilities. It doesn't say that we are soliciting teachers. It doesn't say that we're doing the solicitation of the teachers. So I think we need a little bit more information about how that piece is going to work. I also looked to the second piece about the literacy intervention support, and I'd kind of like to know a little bit more. It's targeted after-school literacy interventions. And I know that we're trying, take the raised schools, we're trying to do as much as we can with them, but I think it's all part of a big plan. So for example, if I identify Mrs. Powers as a person who needs assistance to get her things up, I don't want to throw everything at her. I want it to be somewhat strategic as to which pieces I'm doing. So if it's a school that's getting support from the Education Foundation, or if it's a school that's getting tutoring support through an outside entity or through the Children's Services Council, that how are, is this same student getting bombarded with 4 different pieces, and are all those pieces, because I think you're going to reach a saturation point when you're looking at a student. So I mean, I don't know whether there's a rating system for the students that these we're doing this with, these we're doing that with, that certain things that students need, these students need this piece so they could be handled here, these need this piece, it can be handled here. So if you understand what I'm saying, I just think that as far as the raised school goes for that literacy piece, I think we need an overall picture as to how all those things are interacting and working together, and kind of some numbers for what we're looking at. You're saying 100 and something for the SAT. I don't know how many we're looking at which schools that we're going to be doing the literacy support into. So,
Yeah, I'm happy to share the proposals for both of those. And so we've identified the target students by their data, by their need. There is some overlap with the Ed Foundation group, but that is by design to provide extension services. But I'm happy to share both proposals for the ACT and the after-school literacy initiative so that you guys can review all the details.
yeah, I think it's, so for the literacy thing, I don't want to be in a position at some point later where we have the ability to point a finger at somebody else and say, well, they were supposed to do that. The reason we didn't do well is because we were counting on so-and-so, and that didn't come true. Whether we're pointing the finger at Lisa, whether we're pointing the finger at Boys and Girls Club, whoever we're pointing the finger at that point to say, hey, this is why it didn't happen. I think some forethought into that. And I think as far as the SAT prep goes, what is it replacing? Is it replacing something, or is this something that's a brand new piece that's coming in? But I think all those things need to be looked at as to exactly what, when my grandkids, bless their sweet little hearts, took SAT prep, there were good SAT prep things and there were bad SAT prep things. And it was, they would come home from some things more confused than when they started. And it was kind of like, hey, I don't want to be teaching SAT prep to you, but I guess I have to at that point. And I don't want to put our parents in that position or grandparents.
So, and I guess I have another, so Boys and Girls Club is paying for all of this.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I would want to know what our oversight is. That's what I get concerned about, is bringing kids in, and then the qualifications of the instructor are really important. If the students are going to be successful, where I want to see what control, I would like to see some more control on our part if we're going to endorse something like that and tell parents that this teacher is getting paid $125 an hour, and we're endorsing this program for your student, but we don't have any control over what's happening and how it's happening. That concerns me.
Yes, ma'am. We maintained that in our proposal, and so Boys and Girls Club would pay them, but our curriculum department would oversee the materials and ensuring that they have the appropriate training, and if not, scheduling them to receive that training from ACT. Our proposal just outlines that Boys and Girls Club will provide the funding to pay for this program, and our team played the majority role in developing the program.
Okay, still have a lot of questions, but I'll ask separately if we're going to bring this item back at another board meeting. Is that the consensus of the board to bring this back with more information?
Yes, please.
Everybody good with that? Okay.
And what's the timeline for this? When the program would start?
So we were initially targeting mid-January. I think January 14th was the date in our proposal, but if we're going to have to bring it back to another meeting, we'll have to push it back. Really, February start date.
Okay. Only because obviously we're going to do this. We want to get our kids as much help as early as possible. So I hear their concerns, so I understand that. So I guess, can we make sure that this is on the January docket? So we can get this going if we're going to do this?
Madam Chair, is there a way to hook a meeting onto the January workshop? So once we get, maybe we could have a little bit of a discussion, get us the information, have a little bit of discussion at the workshop, and then roll into a meeting where we can actually vote, which would be at the workshop as opposed to, because I think the workshop is early, well,
January
it's
6th.
obviously earlier than,
January 6th is our workshop.
yeah. So if we do that and advertise it as a meeting, that gives us enough time to do it, and that way it would get approved on January 6th with whatever pieces there are. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and if you're a board member and you have specific questions, let's get with staff in the meantime before I know there's not very much time, but we could get those questions, try to get those questions answered, and then we'll talk about it again at the January 6th board meeting. All right, thank you. All right, moving on. All right, that's it. Do we have open to the board? Great. Ms.
Merry-
Roberts.
Sure. Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has a nice holiday. Thank you.
And I also want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, that everybody takes time to enjoy their families and rest and be ready for the new year.
Ms. Pritchett.
I echo those sentiments, and I just want to thank everyone for their support throughout the year. I know how hard all of you work, and I know you're all looking forward to some rest and relaxation with your family, and I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd like to echo those sentiments as well. A Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and I hope everyone has a safe and wonderful break. It's hard to believe that 2025 is coming to a close, but just a few short weeks. We'll be in 2026 writing checks with different numbers on them. So Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you. I would also, one of the things that I'd like to see coming up in the new year is to see the progress monitoring 2 data, to get a presentation on that where compared to progress to PM1. And so we can see where we need to target improvement overall. And I will probably be asking, I don't know how many, what the PM2 window are we should be in PM2 right now. I don't know if some may be later than, probably not in January for PM2. So I'll be interested to look at that data too when we talk about the ACT and SAT prep. I also want to remind everyone that David Heaton is retiring from the Children's Services Council, and there will be an open house tomorrow evening from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Children's Services Council to wish Dave a farewell and to enjoy his retirement. So if you can make it, that would be wonderful. Anytime between 4 and 7 p.m. Also, the Toys for Tots, sponsored by United Way, is starting up tomorrow. They'll have, at the fairgrounds, they'll do the shopping with all of the families that have registered. Will be tomorrow and Thursday, and I know they added gift wrapping. I'll be there Thursday wrapping presents, so if you feel inclined to volunteer, they will all be there. It really is a very fun event to volunteer at. And I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. I look forward to working alongside you all in 26. It's been a great 2025. And I know it's going to be even better 2026. So I hope everyone relaxes and enjoys their time with their family and those they love the most. And Merry Christmas. This meeting is adjourned.